So, Ark Survival Ascended. If you were like me, you had to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the Xbox partner preview. At the end of the trailer, it said coming soon. Everyone was so disappointed in the comments. And then we all saw the Steam page. And we all saw the trailer on Steam where it said available today, which it was. I gotta say, the way they dropped this is absolutely amazing. It came out of nowhere. How exciting. But one of the big questions I saw was about the system requirements. So I'm doing this video. This is not a play, oh look, how to play, oh look at this amazing game. This is about how this game will run on an average computer. So my computer is a Ryzen 5 3600. I have a GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I have it installed on an M2 SSD. So this is I would call it an average computer because it's all a couple of years old. All this hardware is getting closer to 3 years old. This is nothing new. So I wanted to see how it would run on something that was kind of mid-range and show you what this runs like on something that's kind of mid-range. And also don't forget that some of my GPU resources is taken up by recording this. So I haven't seen this game yet. I'm very excited to see it. Let's have a look. Alright, so we're sitting here at the character customization screen. My GPU utilization is up at 90%. That was down at like 7 frames a second then. Alright. Whoa, this is laggy. So, I didn't expect to be able to run this at full graphics, especially while I'm recording. I'm hitting 30 frames a second now, which is not too bad looking. Let's have a look at these graphics settings. We've got to have motion blur off. Alright, I'm going to turn shadows down to medium. I'm going to turn global illumination quality down and put it on high. Now, NVIDIA DLSS, the only other game that I've had with DLSS is Dying Light 2. And whenever I've had DLSS on, it was laggy as hell, and turning off DLSS made a huge difference. I'm going to leave it on for now, but we can always come back to this. UI, I don't really care about. I haven't seen anything regarding VSync. Let's see how this goes. Alright. So we're certainly stuttering a little bit. We're running 40 frames a second. Piss off, compies, I'm doing something. I mean, the game looks great. My GPU is running at nearly 100%. So the recommended specs is for a 3080. And of course, the 3060 Ti is not quite the recommended specs. I'm getting lag spikes. So to play comfortably, I'll probably turn the graphics down a little bit more. Let's try DLSS off. Alright, it feels better. Have a little run around, see if it lags. I mean, the graphics look amazing, and I have no problem running this at a lower level of graphics to this. You can see up the top there, we're sort of hovering around the 30 frames a second. For me, playing single player, that's okay. Certainly if you're playing multiplayer, you probably want that at a higher frame rate. So I can play the first arc on my current setup with epic settings, everything turned up to the max. This one, I'm going to put that on medium. I think that's what we started with. Alright, my GPU is 99% utilization. The game feels a little bit laggy. See if we can get some rocks and make ourselves an axe. I mean, the game looks great. So I'm just running through the preset graphic settings at the moment. We'll go down to low. Alright, and see we're hitting 50 frames a second now. At low graphic settings, this game looks good. I think I need to fix up VSync. I don't see an option for VSync. It's not too bad, but occasionally I notice the line across the screen. Come on, where's a rock? Where's a stone I can pick up? I don't know what the stones look like that you can pick up. There's all these stones here, but I don't seem to be able to pick them up. There we go. Need some thatch. It's actually been a while since I've played her. That should do. So there's no movement speed skill. Anyway. The video is about the graphics and whether this will run on your computer. Alright, so these trikes, I'm not sure if that's a new model or not. I think it is. It definitely is. It doesn't look like the old ones. Alright, you can see my latency up there, 51 frames per second. And just remember, I am running this on low graphics, on the low preset. And I do expect that this game is probably not as optimized as it can be. The minimum requirements for a 1080, I think you might struggle running this game at that. Let's turn off DLSS. And one thing that I probably want to do, I mean, the game feels okay. It feels responsive. 40 to 50 frames a second. I'm happy with that. Like I said, I don't play multiplayer. So for single player settings, I think that will be fine. Multiplayer, I'm not too sure about. You probably want to turn more things off and sort of get at least 60 frames a second. I do want a higher view distance, so let's go for medium. Let's turn the shadows down. Let's turn the illumination quality down. Foliage quality, let's turn that down. And you know what? Let's try a high view distance. Whoa, that dropped down to 11 frames then. Forty, 43 frames. $55. I think maybe the view distance is the issue with dinos spawning in at distance. I'm sure there's an option for VSync somewhere. Let's see what it's like. This is one thing I always notice when you start... Oh, there was a big lag there. 28 frames. When you start hitting a tree. Alright. Alright, so that seems smooth. The new model for the parasols looks cool. I mean, the low quality foliage still looks good. The low quality graphics still look good. You know, running this on a 1080, I don't know, I think it'd struggle. They say the minimum requirements is a 1080. I'm not capping out at 60 frames unless I stand still, of course. Let's take our view distance down to medium. Let's go low shadows, low illumination, foliage low. Now I want to turn off the frame rate cap. I'm going to turn off light bloom. We'll see that. We've got basically low of everything except for view distance, anti-aliasing. A lot of this stuff is off. The fluid, foliage and fluid interaction is possibly going to suck up a few frames. Let's see what kind of frame rate we can get. So if I stand still, we're hitting 69 frames. Nice. How old am I? 12? My GPU utilization is only around 60-70%, which is pretty heavy for low graphics. But I think this is playable. You know, and I'm going to be pretty happy to play this. I don't know how it will go on a 20 series or even a 10 series. If you're interested, I do have a 1050 Ti, which is below their minimum specs. Just. I could try it on that. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. But yeah, as it stands, gee, I don't know. I don't know what this would be like on a 2080 or 2060. I don't know what it would be like on a 1080. I mean, yeah. If you've got a 1080 and you've tried this, let me know, so that we can let people know whether this is a viable game for their system or not. You know, to save the purchase, to save the download, to save trying the game and then having to refund it. You know, at least you can kind of make that decision before you do that. So I do have another 16 gig of RAM sitting here waiting to go into my computer. Fucking Pego. So I think that would probably make a bit of a difference. I mean, my machine usually has 32 gig of RAM, but I thought I'd drop it down to 16 just to show you guys what it was like. But, I mean, low graphics look better than Arc 1 on max graphics. Or Arc SC, I mean. I don't know. It looks like a heavy game. It looks like heavy system requirements. But it's running smooth for me. With things turned down, 60 frames a second, you know, I'm kind of happy with this. It feels smooth. It'll be interesting to see what it's like when I have a base full of dinos. So I get occasional spikes, occasional moments of lag. And as I said earlier, I do expect that this game is probably not very well optimized at the moment. Because if you've been following the news regarding Snail and Wildcard, you know that they had to release this before the end of the month. Otherwise, Mobius was going to hold them to it and would pick up exclusive rights for all server hosting and things like that. So I know they owe a lot of money, and I can understand that they rushed to get this out. I do hope it's optimized a bit better. Like I said, this is a 3060 Ti with a Ryzen 5 3600. There's quite a bit of heat coming from my GPU, so it's running hard. I don't know about trying this on a 20 or a 10 series. If you've got a 20 or a 10, Let me know if it's working for you, so we can share that information to other people who are thinking about buying this. Also, don't forget I am recording at the same time, so some of my GPU resources are going to that. I am running 2 screens. So my GPU is running 2 screens at the moment. But yeah, I can feel the heat coming off my machine. I hope this game doesn't cook my GPU. Anyway, like I said, this isn't a, oh, let's play Ark. This is a, how is this game going to run on an average computer? This is my first game, I believe, that's in Unreal Engine 5. And I love the look of it. I think it looks fantastic. You know, 4090 GPUs are up around $3,000, and they're not accessible to most people. You know, this GPU, when I bought it, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, it was $1,300. And even that's not accessible to most people. I have seen, if you're interested in a 3060 Ti, I did have a look on eBay. I'm talking about Australian prices here. If you're somewhere else in the world, I'm not quite sure what it's going to cost. But I did see on eBay, Harris Technologies are selling refurbished 3060 Ti's for around about the $500 mark. I can't speak for their quality, but the 3060 Ti is not a bad card. If you got any questions, let us know down below. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the information I presented here. I hope you found it useful. If you want to see more Ark, let me know. If you're interested in scams and scam bait videos, subscribe, because we've got a lot of that stuff on here. Not quite as much gaming stuff, but maybe more in the future. Take it easy. Peace, love and respect to all. We're up to 73 frames a second. Woohoo!